Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Here are my quick tips to get through the main campaign in Monster Hunter Wilds. For my first tip, I would recommend going into your options and changing your zoom to 10. By default, the game will have it set to 4 and your hunter is going to be really closed in. If you go ahead and change this to 10, you're going to have more of a view of the overworld, items, monsters, or anything that is in your immediate area. So I definitely recommend changing the camera distance to 10. Tip number 2 is going to be to change your focus mode from hold to toggle. You can do this by going into your options, going over to your controls on page 2. You're going to scroll down over to melee and ranged weapons and change the option to toggle mode. This is especially helpful. Let's say you're a controller player like me. I play on PS5. If you're having to hold down on L2, you can't really use any of your items and you're always fixed on the monster. But you can see if you change it to toggle, you can now free up any of your items more freely. You can access your radio menu, all while still being locked on the monster. So play around with this option and see what works best for you. My third tip is going to be to try to mount the monster if you can. Anytime I engage in a new battle, I always try to jump at the beginning. Try to land a hit and keep making these attempts. The game has this sort of hidden mechanic in which if you continuously jump and try to attack the monster, eventually you're going to mount him. Once you're successfully mounted onto the monster, you'll see you'll have the option to move along the back of the monster. Now, there's really only a couple things I tried to do here. The first thing is try to get a couple hits as soon as you can and create a wound. If ever you do see the monster is starting to shake, just move to a different spot and you don't have to brace or do anything really. All you really have to do is change your spot and keep attacking a different spot until you can successfully create a wound. Strike the monster with a focused attack for an easy takedown. Tip number 4 is going to be to remember to cook. Always before I initiate a quest, I try to remember to make a quick meal. Now, you can get rations from your main hub daily, and I've never had an issue where I've run out. Generally, for chapters 1 through 3, I would say the main campaign, it's perfectly fine to just use the recommended option for cooking. If ever you did notice that maybe your health or stamina is not all the way set, more than likely it just means that you need a meal or rest to get your hunter back to 100%. Now for the next tip, and we kind of touched on this before, but it really is a useful tip, especially in Wilds, is to exploit any and all wounds. Definitely take a shot at any wounds you have an opportunity. Make sure you always try to go for the wound. Even if you think it may be out of reach, sometimes you may surprise yourself. The wounds are a new mechanic within Wilds that allow you to more accurately pinpoint which spot you'd like to hit. They're a great way to deal heavy damage and potentially paralyze the monster. Now, coming into my final beginner tip for this video, it's going to be to call in an SOS or just play with friends in general. If you're really trying to move along through the main campaign and you just want to get to the end game as quick as possible, one of the best ways you can do that is by inviting friends to play or even support hunters. Going into your radio and selecting the SOS beacon option, you can send for an SOS and wait for players to join you. Also, if you were to visit Alma in any one of the home bases, you'll be able to change your preferences for the SOS system. So definitely give this a shot. That's going to be all of my beginner tips for today for Monster Hunter Wilds. If you enjoy watching the video, thank you. Definitely drop a like and subscribe for more Monster Hunter Wild guides and gameplay. Also, if you have your own beginner tips, feel free to share them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you guys on the next video.